I piss you off all the time. I really hate to rhyme, but if this is what buys your time, I guess so do it.
That summer, I chased you up and down football fields, and after you not returning my passes, decided to give you a 10-yard penalty for uncrushman-like conduct.
We living in a world filled with unfortunate oppression, and no matter how many years go by, it seems like nothing is progressing. And if you didn't know, we living just to die, so we living in digression. Let that sink in.
I write about everything, but I'm a really cheesy love poet. We're in the Smithsonian American Art Museum. I always like coming here because the whole atmosphere is really relaxed, and it's really hard to find places like this. It's the first time I've been on the team. This is the first year I've been writing slam poetry. Like, I'm really new to all of this, so it's really, I'm surprised I made it this far.
Okay, I think Kosi has done the most research coming into this process. So he has his favorite poets, he has his idols, he quotes their poems at us in practice.
There's this one poem from a lady named Alexis Harris. It's a poem called That Girl. And one of the lines is, nobody knows you hold my hands. Nobody knows you call me baby. No one knows you write anonymous poems about me, the type you can't put on Facebook.
It's really cute. Don't tell him I said that.
It's like going to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Like, every time I perform, it's like, my name is Rachel Sanni, and I have only been kissed 2 times in my lifetime. And you're okay with that. And I'm fine, and you all know, and we're gonna continue with this poem. So it's like that.
Rachel is the mom of the team. She has this like awareness of the world that she's just really funny about.
And I'm an African American Studies major, and I love history, and I love culture, and I love architecture. It's rare that people talk outside of the box or that are comical about a really messed up situation. And I met you in 7th grade block period, forgot you, then reclaimed you sophomore year like that Skittle that misses your mouth and hits the dirt.
I actually think that I'm a better performer than writer. I write a lot about what I call the inner city blues, so like normal teenage stuff or stuff that's happening in the city, a lot of stuff that gets ignored in the city. One of my favorite poems I've ever written was the poem about gay rights. A lot of people always ask me to do that one. Like, those are one of my favorite poems I've ever read. Her mother would much rather her come home with a 20-year-old man and a baby on her hip, rather than just allow her to have a girlfriend and find her strap.
I don't know, there's something about the character of a person that would do slam poetry that also makes them the type of person that would be an activist. People hear slam poet and they automatically think, oh, you're just gonna be complaining about the war, complaining about racism, complaining about this, you know.
Oh, my eyes, and women are queens, and I'm from Africa. Like,
You know, we have to come together and live as one and fight for your right.
You know, on the soapbox, preaching.
And like, there's a reason there's those stereotypes. There's some truth to that, in that we are talking about these issues. It's not as trivial as just, oh, you're just yelling, you're just doing this. It's an art form, it's a craft. People spend hours and hours and days and weeks like crafting these pieces and working and going back and like living through these poems.
We're meeting 3 times a week, so we meet Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for about 2.5 hours. So what we'll do is we'll have people bring in copies of their poems, so a copy for each person who will be at the practice, and then we have them perform the poem.
cold, hard, stainless steel of a woman, voiced like a cracking thunderstorm, maelstrom, flash flood, hurricane you can drown in a.
We give general feedback on the poem, what we think they can add, what we think they should take away.
Because this is the question, do you want to create like an image and a place and a space for somebody, or do you just want to tell them to do something? You know what I'm saying?
And what we focus on then is just, cadence, body language, volume. They're gonna hate me by the time we're done doing performance stuff because I'm really nitpicky about it.
When I say spoken, you say word, spoken, spoken.
It's Louder Than a Bomb. It is an awesome documentary film about a slam poetry contest in Chicago. They're having the premiere today. Premiering that film here in DC, and so the DC Youth Poetry Slam team is coming out.
Y'all put your hands together for wordplay.
9 years of tears, 9 years of pain, 9 years of wishing I could freaking hate you, but I can't.
I remember you like Christmas clothes, soft when first held, but forgotten when you get grown.
Problem is, we all sound the same. Copying each other's cadence, pounding out the same pickup pace played out in the 90s, tracing the same tones, throwing around the same themes, and we think it means we're deep.
Yeah, as much as any poet wants to say that they don't do that, They low-key do.
For a while, it was cool for everyone to like be really sing-songy and cadency, but I think part of what's making spoken word a lot more accessible to people who aren't poets is that, you know, it's not as like beat poety anymore. I always say, you know, spoken word is the art and slam poetry is the sport, and that, you know, slam poetry is a lot of people's transition into spoken word, because, you know, that the element of competition just makes it a lot more exciting for someone who might not be interested in poetry for poetry's sake.
It's not about the points, it's about the piece. And that's really the truth. The competing just comes basically so you can have bragging rights.
You see, I'm tired of the same old stuff, so how about I just quit? Because enough is enough, but not I.
In general, slams choose judges from the audience because that way, you know, the winner is chosen by the people. The judges get a scoreboard. Each poem is scored from 0 to 10. The highest and the lowest score are dropped. So the middle 3 scores are added together. And it's, you know, it's all very subjective.
It's a terrible thing. It's a stupid thing. It's a gross thing. It's an inhumane thing. And when you're on the wrong side of that .1 or that .2 that judge just randomly decided.
We got an 8.2, an 8.3.
It hurts like hell, and it stings, and it's terrible, and it's stupid, and we're doing it to little kids, teenagers. We're making them cry about this stuff, but we're also making them care about something.
And it's true, we do care. We care about the situation that you had with your uncle or your aunt last week, or the rape that you experienced when you were 14, or the really bomb ice cream cup that you had today. We care about that. Because you know what? I just had one too.
You speak about things that people not gonna speak about or are too afraid to speak about.
I'm not scared to say what I want anymore.
You can't get up on a stage and perform a poem for people and then go back to being the kind of person who doesn't talk to anyone. It basically made me okay with all like the quirks of being a person.
And those are all very beneficial things, and not necessarily to share with everybody else in the world, but to share with your peace of mind.
Most people don't have that luxury to say what they want to say all the time, and I'm thankful for it.